This video discusses psilocybin, as found in magic mushrooms.
This is not a recommendation. Rather an account of a legal and overseen experience.
You should consult your doctor and check local laws to ensure they are healthy and legal for you.
This account with visuals simply documents fictional stories of what people experience when treated.
I'll begin by saying that magic mushrooms may be illegal in your area, so you may have to go to a special location to have your personal ceremony. What I've tried to do is emulate to the best of my ability the indigenous ceremonies that I've been blessed to take part in. I find a very safe setting that is unlikely to have day-to-day interruptions, and make sure anyone close to me is aware that I'll be going on a journey for a certain time. I get candles and sage and essential oils, along with colorful patterned materials to place around the setting. As I mentioned in another video, I like to place myself where I can observe people, because for me, this is where the most interesting visuals take place. Although I love being close to trees and flowers, I like to observe people. I'll discuss two settings that I regularly use for these personal ceremonies. One is a very small boutique hotel that has a rooftop area, and usually we are the only guests. It overlooks the ocean and a beautiful resort skyline. I often get to see cruise ships leave this resort area, which is one of the most remarkable visuals you will ever see when you're on a high dose of psilocybin. I've learned that a mushroom called albino penis envy seems to give me the deepest experience. There are many others available as well. I will always bring music, which includes a playlist of about 200 songs designed for just this purpose. But I let it play whatever it wants while I am journeying, and I swear it adds song from nowhere once in a while. The first time I did the medicine in this particular location, it was a very insightful trip. Naturally, I felt like I had discovered the key to the universe. I had the usual wonderful escape where any issues of the day seemed to be dealt with pretty quickly through direct contact between my brain and visual answers from the sky or elsewhere. Afterward, however, I began to notice that three-dimensional world no longer felt three-dimensional to me. I can't really describe what it felt like, but I felt like everything was a movie set piece. I find myself actually trying to find glitches in the matrix, because at this point I recognize there is no time and space. I would look for clues that supported this. This theory, when I realized that almost everything on Earth is designed to reinforce that there is time and space. I would look out the window to a big church with a clock that constantly rang its bell to remind me of time. I would see water bottles that had a certain amount of water that had been consumed, which is a measurement. It's just like everything around was there to reinforce the belief that this world was one of time and space. Although, when on the mushrooms, a small water bottle will turn into a big water bottle by blinking. People will shift between adult versions and children with ease. As I looked down towards the ocean during this trip, I would see a full cafe in operation with customers and families being served by waiters, only to find out the next day that there was no restaurant there. There were only 2 water tanks and some lighting. How did my brain manufacture a full restaurant with customers? I also watched the ocean completely come to a stop, including the watercraft that were in the ocean, and then start up again. Birds in the sky would come and do a show for me depending on the song that was playing. This happened whether I had a headset on or was using an external speaker. A regular occurrence now, whenever I do mushrooms, is that the birds will come down out of the sky in large groups, and in my perception, they are attached to some sort of energetic force. The same thing holds true with airplanes that are leaving. They seem to be confined and held by some sort of grid. Again, I can choose a specific song, and a specific series of events will occur every time. I can expect the same circumstances. Of course, once the mushrooms begin to wear off, this no longer holds true. I have to be in a deep state of what I'm calling the trance period, but I don't know what the official term would be. And the experience in this setting overlooking the ocean and part of a beautiful resort town is quite amazing. As I gaze at all the buildings built in the mountainside overlooking the ocean, I can't help but think whatever this is, it is a miracle. The fact that I have learned that I don't know what I know has made life much easier. Please let me reiterate that this might sound bad or like a bad trip, but to me it is just miraculous.